you've got your kids running around or you're whipping up dinner while you're trying to listen to the call. I know it all too well, but I appreciate all of you for being here, and I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your evening to learn and grow and sacrifice your hour tonight to listen to what I have to share. So I'm really excited to do this call for everybody. Just can you guys let me know if you can hear me okay? Because I would hate to go on. Okay, awesome. I just needed awesome. Perfect. Okay. So it's been a while since I've used instant presenters, so please forgive me if we have any hiccups, but I'm sure you guys can all relate to the growth and learning curve. So I'm going to dive right in. Tonight we're talking about recruiting with confidence, and I could tell there was a lot of excitement about this topic because I think as coaches at one point or another we all kind of had that fear of inviting coaches or people to join our business as coaches. It's natural and it's just something we all go through, and it's something you're going to get through as well. You're going to get past it. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about my story, and I want to share with you guys a little bit about sort of where I started and a couple of tips I learned along the way, because I do take learning very seriously, and I like to put them into play and experiment and then share it with coaches on what has worked for me. It might be different for everybody, but I would grab a pen and paper because I've got quite a bit of tips and some motivational stuff to share as well. So we're going to dive right in. I'm Gina Hunter. I am one of Scotty Hobbs' coaches. I've been a coach for 17 months now. I'm a wife. I'm a mom of 4. I have a 12-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So my last 3 are all exactly 1 year apart. And I'm also a Star Diamond coach, Success Club All-Star, and just loving life. I'm loving being a coach. So basically, I just wanted to share all of that with you guys. You have a little bit of a background about me. I'm just a regular woman. I'm a mom. I'm somebody who joined this business and I was scared. I was not sure. I labeled myself as an introvert. I still do, I have to admit. But at the end of the day, I'm dedicated and committed, and I hope you guys are all too, and you're going to be willing to grow and learn and just step out there and take those leaps with me and all the other coaches who are in this together. So let me share some tips on how to build your dream team, and not only that, but recruit with confidence. So just to go back to 17 months ago when I first signed up as a coach, to kind of spare a lot of the I signed up really, just to be honest, to receive 25% commission. I had just had my 4th baby, and obviously I didn't have time to go to the gym. That was out of the question. My husband didn't have time to go to the gym because I needed him here to help me with the newborn baby, and then a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and also a preteen. So we looked into T25, and I had actually done P90X before I had the DVDs from when I had my 3rd baby. And so I got pregnant again almost immediately after I had her. 3 months after giving birth, I got pregnant again. I waited it out. I was starting to panic, I'm not going to lie, because all of my maternity leave benefits had run out long ago after baby number 2. And for those who know, in Canada here, you get I think it's 52 weeks. So you get a year of maternity leave benefits that are paid for. But until you go back to work and accumulate more hours, you don't get that opportunity again. You have to kind of go and earn it. And that was not possible because I kept having babies. And so it was a 1-income household. I started to entertain the idea of being a coach because I was seeing them on the DVDs, as you guys probably know. At the end of the DVDs, they talk about coaching. And so it was something that was in the back of my mind, but I never really took it too seriously. I certainly wasn't looking at it from a business perspective. I had a little blog where I was sharing my journey, just kind of for fun, just to share some health and fitness tips or clean eating that I was doing. And I thought, well, it wouldn't hurt to sign up as a coach and earn some commission. So that's what I did. My daughter was 4 weeks old, my 4th baby. She was 4 weeks old when I became a coach. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just thought I could make a few dollars here or there, maybe some fun money or some money to help with paying the bills or groceries, or if we wanted to go on vacation or whatever. It was not long after becoming a coach, Scotty and I got on the phone and he talked to me about what my goals were. We had a conversation just kind of digging into why I'm doing this, what I want to achieve in life. It wasn't necessarily even about the business. It was just, what do I want to achieve in life? And he actually told me, just dream big. Don't limit yourself. Like, what would you like to achieve in a year? And I'm going to tell you, my husband and Nick, we're big dreamers. We just love to dream big. And so we threw out some really crazy dreams and stuff. And Scotty said, okay, let's do it. This is what it's going to take. And this is what you're going to need to do. And it really opened up my eyes to everything else that Beachbody had to offer. So from somebody who was coming in and enjoying the workout programs, I was doing T25 and loving it. I was sharing it on my my Instagram, my Facebook, and just kind of on my blog recreationally. I was into earning 25% commission, but talking to my mentor, I really allowed myself to dream big and began to see how Beachbody was an amazing vehicle to help me do that, not only financially, but because I'm already on my own health and fitness journey anyway. And so it opened up the doors for me. I was scared, first of all. I had a fourth baby that was a big surprise for us. And we had already had our hands super full. So I know all about life as a busy mom. I was feeling super overwhelmed. We were excited and super welcoming of our fourth baby, but we were kind of hoping maybe we'd have a little bit more time to establish ourselves in between, but it happened, and she's a blessing, and Beachbody kind of came into our lives at the same time. And from that point on, from that day that we signed up as coaches, our whole world had changed. I started off being a little bit insecure as a coach. I mean, I had my own fitness journey I was on. I didn't have any idea who would follow me. I wasn't quite sure what my role as a coach was. Am I supposed to be a fitness expert? Am I supposed to help people get fit? I was a little bit confused, but I was finding my way. I was just ready to dive in. I was super busy. I had 3 kids under 3 and then a preteen at home, and we were broke. We were comfortable, I'll say, but there were some really tough times, I'm not going to lie. I mean, my husband was the only income at one point in the household. And when you have a growing family, it kind of forces you to really take a step back and look at the situation. And, we had to make some sacrifices with things. And at the end of the day, Beachbody was it. After that call with Scotty, I saw so much potential behind what Beachbody has to offer. And I want to share this with you guys because there are other people out there who were like me or who were like you. And they're at that place that they just maybe did not tell you they're at that place. I mean, it's not something you broadcast. So it's super important, and I'm going to get a little bit further into that, but it's super important to really connect with people and find out where they're at in life and what they want to achieve. And so I wanted to kind of start there because that's the foundation of what we do. We're here to help people not only get healthy and fit, but also to have that financial freedom. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. First, I want to just start off. I wanted to make sure we started off this call this way. Positive affirmations. It really makes a huge difference. So first, I want you guys to write down and tell yourself that you're awesome. I want you to tell yourself that you are a great leader. You're a great leader for your challengers. You're a great leader at home, and you're a great leader for your team and your coaches. And you're also a great leader with your team, with your sponsoring coach, and helping them lead. Okay, you have an amazing team. I don't care if you have just one coach. If you don't have any coaches, you tell yourself that you have an amazing team. It is in the works. And also knowing that you have got the opportunity with endless possibilities. Endless possibilities. Beachbody allows so much change in somebody's life. And the community and support behind it, you guys already know that. But I wanted you to remind yourself that you're sitting on a gold mine and you have got that you are eager to share with other people. So anybody would be lucky to be on your team. Okay, those are super important to write down and tell yourself that every single morning. And I'm going to say that because these are all things that I had questioned about myself. throughout my journey as a coach, there were times when I just wasn't too sure about myself, if I was doing the right thing, if I was good enough, if I was, I don't know, like, just the negative self-talk that comes to mind sometimes, and you have to really train yourself and sometimes give yourself a kick in the pants and let you know that you're awesome. So I want you guys to write that down and remind yourself of that every single day. Okay, so we're going to kind of dive in. I want to get started here with a couple of tips. And the first big step, and it's scary, it's really scary for a lot of people, is to let the world know that you're a coach, loud and proud. You are a business owner. You are a life changer. You have got something that can change the lives of thousands of people, not only physically, health-wise, financially, emotionally, every way. You have something that can help people. So you need to wear it loud and proud. Let everybody know you're a coach. Brigitte had mentioned this in one of the previous calls, that you're a business owner. You need to turn on the open, so unlock the door, turn on the sign, take the chairs off the table and announce it. It's very scary, and it's scary because we're not sure what's going to happen beyond that. We're not sure what the outcome of that's going to be. But you guys are, unless you quit, my motto with our team is that you literally cannot fail at this unless you quit. This business is fail proof. You can't fail unless you quit. And so this is one of the biggest first steps that you're ever going to take, and it's completely scary, but it is totally gratifying. Let the world know that you're a coach. And a great way to do that is through your Facebook. Life changer. I love that. Yes, absolutely, Juliana. And I say the same thing. You are whatever you want to say you are. You are a life changer. You're a lifestyle coach. You're a health and fitness coach. You're whatever. You are that. You're awesome. Okay? The next big thing is personal development. And I know everybody hears this nonstop in Beachbody. And I'm going to share a little story with you guys. Scotty talks about personal development a lot because Scotty practices personal development. And it shows in his leadership. And he used to ask me all the time what books I was reading. And I had books, but I wasn't actually reading them. I mean, I might pick them up every so often and read a chapter and put it down. And I'd listen to a couple of YouTubes here and there, but I was not internally applying them and then going out there in the world and practicing. And when there would be a situation, I would put to practice what I have learned. So I want to share with you guys, when you actually apply the personal development, you commit to personal development, it is going to change your entire outlook. But you have to start from within. So in order for you to believe in yourself and for others to be convinced, you have to work on your personal development. There is a ton of books and resources that you can turn to that are going to help you. And I am a big fan of reading books that relate to whatever it is I'm going through at that point in my life. So there are some awesome leadership books. I highly recommend reading GoPro just because it is an eye-opener for network marketing. I didn't understand network marketing, and I actually really disliked it when my husband had some experience with it before, and I was that wife who would fight with him, and I was negative about it, and I didn't get it. I didn't believe in it. And it was ironic that I was diving into this Beachbody thing. And of course, he was supportive of me, but I didn't fully understand the network marketing to be able to go out there and grow as a business owner. So pick up the book by Eric Worre, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Anyway, it's called GoPro. And it's one of the best books that's going to give you some major aha moments in network marketing. Okay? And if you are inviting others to join your team, it's good to kind of get familiar with what it is that they're joining so you can help them know too. So that's a top book. Other ones, I mean, there are lists upon lists. Scotty has a ton. I have a ton. You can always just kind of turn to the team page, and I'm sure they're listed there as well. But committing to your self-growth is committing to your team. Even if you don't have a team today, you are committing to your team, your future team. But first, you're committing to yourself, and you have to commit to yourself so that you can be the best leader that you need to be for your team. So I think that you guys all get the point about personal development and the importance of it. Here's some really great tips that I actually was eager to share with all of you guys, and you'll want to write some of these down, if not all of them. We'll refer back to this later. But The first and foremost is don't be fearful of the word no. It's a scary word. It's because it's rejection. The word no is associated with rejection, and rejection sucks. It's kind of a feeling we associate with pain. And when we associate anything with pain, we retreat from it. We get scared of it. We try to avoid it at all costs. But at the end of the day, you never know until you try. And the word no in this business often means they just don't understand. It rarely ever means no. And I'll share a little bit more about that later. Tip number 2 is you really want to show your network that you are for real. Okay? One really good way to do that is through your social media. It is a free platform to do that, and it's your credibility. And so what I mean by that is when you are inviting other people to join your business and join your team, they don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what they're going to be doing. They don't even know what this means. But at the end of the day, they have to kind of trust you to even want to learn about it. And I can almost guarantee you that if you are out there sending out invites and you're not getting a lot of response, or people are telling you no, or they're not jumping on board, they're watching you. And that is a fact. They're watching you because they're quietly curious. So you really want to show your network that you're for real. Share your personal development and things that you're learning so you can inspire them and others through your social media. Share your journey. Talk about your team and, what some fun things you're doing. If you guys are local, if you're going to Super Saturdays, if you are attending fit clubs, share it. Share it. Content is one incredibly free and just amazing, sure way to show your network that, wow, she's really doing something, or he's really doing something that's for real. It's not just this internet sales thing they're trying to get me to do. Be patient with yourself. And I love this one because I think that the world has enough critics, and we often fear what other people think about us or what they're going to say. But at the end of the day, we're the meanest to ourselves. And we rush ourselves, and we don't give ourselves time to grow and learn and ease our way into things and practice. And it is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself is just be patient with yourself. You will get there. I promise you will get there. The only way you won't is if you quit. So if you can just be patient with yourself and have an open mind and a heart to help people and be willing to learn, you are going to get there. So just remind yourself, write it down near your desk or wherever. Just say, be patient with yourself. Okay, be here in 1 year. This is sort of like the thing in Beachbody. And it's funny because it's hard, right? When you're a new coach and you're a little discouraged, a year seems like a very long time. But I can tell you this, and I know it is different for everybody, and I had moments when I wanted to quit. I'm not even going to lie, you guys. Like, I did have moments when I questioned myself so much that I wasn't sure. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. I was just feeling like I was failing. And it stuck in my head, be here in a year. I've heard it from Lindsay Matway. I've heard it from Scotty. I've heard it from tons of coaches say, be here in a year. And what they were really saying was give yourself a chance to learn and give yourself a chance to prove to yourself that you can do this. So whatever your start date was, give yourself a year. I'm not saying quit in a year. I'm saying don't make quitting an option. And tell yourself you're going to be here in a year. Watch what happens. Okay, stay focused and stay the course. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy on Thursdays, especially scroll through your Facebook and see a lot of rank advancements and see a lot of welcoming new coaches and sometimes compare yourself to that. But I encourage you to stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. Focus on your team. Focus on your network. Focus on the people that you are helping. And I promise you that it will pay off. Okay, the worst thing you can do is look around, get sidetracked, and start comparing yourself and beating yourself up over what somebody else is doing. Do not ever compare yourself to anybody else. It's sort of the obvious, but at the end of the day, everyone has a different scenario. Everybody has different life circumstances. I used to do it, and then I had to remind myself, you had 50 billion diapers to change today, and a house that you had to clean up, and laundry you had to do. It's okay. It's okay. Just, forgive yourself. Be patient with yourself and don't worry about what other people are doing. So remind yourself of that. So here's the big secret. And I love that Scotty shared this video yesterday, and Dominique, she shared this in her success story of achieving Diamond in 6 days. She wrote down 100 people that she knows, and she contacted 20 of them a day. Truth is, statistically, only 20% of people will actually do this. Why? Because it's scary. Because it is scary to write down 100 people. It doesn't even have to be people that you talk to. It's just people that you know. If it's somebody you know that you see often at the grocery store, write their name down if you know what their name is. If you don't, write down the lady at the grocery store. If it's somebody at your work, write down everybody you work with. Write down your neighbors, your aunts, uncles, cousins, sisters, brothers. Write it down. It's not a list to begin telemarketing to, but it's a practice approach to jog your memory of everybody that you know. And you can begin to build those relationships. The trick is that you want to write down those 100 names. That is like the first big scary step, aside from letting the world know that you're a coach. But you're writing down those 100 names, and it's going to help you focus on who you want to build relationships or rebuild relationships with. Okay? Like I said, only 20% of people actually do it. But those 20% are the ones who achieve success. Okay? So you want to be one of those 20%. Be that person. You can do it. You want to focus on rebuilding relationships first. Okay? It's very easy to rush and want to put the carriage before the horse and want to just go right out there and ask someone, hey, do this with me. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Because I've done it, and guess what? You're planting seeds. But you also want to make sure that you're building those relationships, that you are getting to know people, that you're forming. And Brigitte has an awesome document that she shared in the team page about forming and how to really do that. So I highly recommend that you go and search for that and read through it, because it's awesome. You want to take your time and be authentic. Set the environment. Don't just write somebody a message and be unenthusiastic, okay? It comes off as uninterested, and it sometimes makes them feel like you don't like them, or that maybe you don't really want to talk to them, and it's dry. So be authentic, set the environment, get to know them, ask questions. Ask questions. Don't ever assume that the ones you already know don't need this, okay? Our market is huge. We're health fitness. We're financial freedom. Anything that you can think of, Beachbody in some way, shape, or form, helps with that. Personally, here in Calgary, where I'm located, there are over 1 million people. I understand that that includes babies too, but at the end of the day, there's over 1 million people. And we have just over 300,000 coaches in all of Beachbody. I mean, that is, there's plenty of room for growth. Let's just say that. You don't ever want to write people off. You definitely want to consider everybody. I was at a team retreat last year with Scotty and our team, and we did kind of a round, like a round table sort of, and just talking about some aha moments that we had. And one of Scotty's coaches said something that to this day has stuck with me. And he said that looking around the room, everybody who shared their story, there was laughter, there was tears, there was everything. And he said looking around at this room showed him there was people from all different walks of life. Doctors, lawyers, I don't know, stay-at-home moms, everything. And they all had some really, really deep stories. They had really deep, mistakes that they made, or learning curves, or some huge successes in life. At the end of the day, we were all in the same room, and we were all on one mission together. And he said, that it just taught him to never count anybody out. And I can't stress that enough, you guys. You never want to count anybody out, because you don't know whose life you can change. So when you're looking at that list of 100 people, trust me, I know it's easy to look and say, yeah, I don't think that person's going to be interested. Or they're going to think I'm silly, and they're probably just going to laugh it off. Or this person wasn't so nice to me in high school, I don't think I'm going to invite that guy. Don't do that. Do not count people out before you give them the opportunity. And I say before you give them the opportunity because you don't know where they're at in their life, where they need something like this. They need a team environment. They need something life-changing. They need support. And you don't know who's on the verge of losing their mind or losing their house or whatever. Just reach out to them because you don't know. You just don't know whose life you can change. This one is kind of a wake-up call, and I love it, and I think that it is so true. Sometimes it's easier to tell ourselves that we can't do this than it is to acknowledge that we need to change our own mindset. It's kind of a big aha moment because it's so true. Everybody tends to give up on themselves before they really give themselves an opportunity to grow into the person that they need to be to achieve their goals. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it's easier to say it's too hard, or I'm not good at that, or yeah, nobody wanted to join me, than it was to pick up a book and train your mindset that you are amazing, that you are worth it, and that anybody would be lucky to join your team. I don't know why that is, but it's true. It is easier to tell ourselves we can't do it than it is to acknowledge we need to change our mindset. So if you feel like that is you, and you're on this call today because you're feeling extremely wore out, remind yourself of that it might just be a shift in your own mindset. Okay, because you can do this. I know that. Everybody here who is on this call, they have everything it takes to be successful at this business. Everything it takes to be. You are here. You are on this call. You're willing to grow and learn. You already have what it takes to be successful and to help them do the same. Okay? Most of the time, no just means I don't understand. And that's so true. I literally laugh at that because it sounded cheesy at first. I'm like, thanks for the optimism. When I was the first to coach, because I kept hearing no, or people would just ignore me, which I'm sure you guys can relate sometimes too. But, and I kept hearing it just means that they don't understand, or it just means they're not ready. And it's so true. It is so true because the same ones who said no to me have since joined my team 6 months to a year later. The ones who said, it just wasn't the right time, they came back later. The ones who said that they just weren't into that kind of thing came back, and they are some of my best coaches. They're just awesome. So yes, it's true. Most of the time, no. And I would almost even dare to say like 99% of the time, no just means that they don't understand. So I would take it very seriously to subliminally try to help them understand. And I say that by sharing content on your Facebook. If you feel that maybe they're not sure if they can succeed at this, share your story about how you're just a regular person too. You're busy, but you are doing it. If you feel that maybe that they think it's a scam, just talk to them about how life-changing it has been through your social media. You don't need approval of other people to be an entrepreneur. You just need to be all in. So you might hear the word no, it's okay. Then you say, okay, well then it's my duty to make sure that through my social media, through my interaction with other people, as a serious Beachbody coach, that I help them understand the truth behind what they might be thinking. And I can guarantee you they're going to start trickling in. The biggest fears that most have that they won't succeed at this. Not that it's a scam. 3-day coach sneak peeks are a great idea. And I added that one because I, through my own personal experience, understand this. I truly thought that a lot of people were telling me no when I was inviting them because they associate it with the word pyramid scheme, whatever. And the truth is, it wasn't their fear at all. Yes, it's something that was in the back of their mind, but at the end of the day, most just weren't sure if they would succeed at this. So I wanted to put that in there because Shailene Johnson shared something on a Periscope, and she says it on her podcast as well, that really stuck with me. And it was, if you are feeling as if somebody is maybe judging you, truth is, they're afraid you're judging them. So try to step into their heart, and understand what they're feeling and what they're going through and what they're unsure of, and put them at ease about it, rather than putting the fear on yourself that they're judging you or they're laughing at you or anything, because chances are they're not, that they're afraid you're doing that to them. So if we can all just kind of step out of ourselves and step into the heart of other people and really try to understand what their fear is or what they don't understand about this business when we invite them to join our teams and help change the lives of other people, it would change the whole perspective, because it no longer becomes about you, it becomes about them and helping them feel more comfortable. Okay? A big one, find a success partner and run them together. So if you don't have one, I highly recommend reaching out, find a success partner that you can run Coach Sneak Peeks with, that you can run coaching calls with. Scotty runs them, your upline coach runs them. Definitely engage with those. They're there for a reason. They're there to help others see that it's not just you trying to sell these fitness programs online. It's a true community of other people whose lives have been changed by this. And I can't stress enough how much it changes somebody's perspective when they see that. Okay, so if you've been inviting somebody to join you as a coach and you're not really gaining any traction, these are just a couple things to look at and ask yourself, okay, am I showing them this? Am I really showing them that? And honestly, a lot of times, people just need to see the community behind Beachbody. The team camaraderie, the environment, the lives that were changed by others, share other coaches' stories. Interact, engage, talk about your team, talk about the fun things you're doing with your team. Show them that it's not just you asking them to spend $140 and become a coach to sell product online, that this is a true community. And support, it's huge and it's totally underestimated. So make sure that moving forward that you make it your duty to share that with your network on your social media, because it really does open people's eyes to what you're doing. Okay. Actively listen, ask questions. Don't be unenthusiastic, as I've mentioned before. Don't rush it and truly get to know them. It kind of sort of goes back to what I had said previously, so I won't spend too much time on that. But you have to kind of think of what the other person is feeling. And if you give one-word answers in your responses, it just seems like you just aren't really all that interested, or you're bored, or you're in a bad mood or something, and it just kind of throws off the vibe. So make sure you do set your environment. I'm not saying be fake, but just be genuinely interested. Ask questions about where they're at in life. What do they do? What's their husband do? How are their kids? How old are their kids? Are they going back to work now that they've had a baby? When are they scheduled to do that? Are they excited? Where have they traveled to this year? How often do they travel? Things that are going to help you probe and get to know a little bit about them. This is about building those relationships, which turn, therefore, into inviting into this business. When you do those relationship building, you're also drawing their attention to you. So now they're watching you. And when you do invite them to become coaches, they're going to be a little bit more apt to want to learn about what it is that you do, because they've kind of had those conversations with you. And you've already piqued their own interest and had them look at their own life and really dream. You have to allow and teach people to dream for themselves, because society gets so caught up in every day-to-day life. And when you have busy families, or if you're in school and you work multiple jobs, you're just trying to get by. Like, it gets super busy. You wake up and you go into survival mode and you go to bed and you do it all over again. And we need to really, as coaches, allow people to dream for themselves. Okay? I had a chat with one of my coaches, and she's an amazing coach. She does great, but the one thing that was missing was just allowing her to dream. Like, just open up that part of them that's just going to let them see beyond their circumstances and see beyond where they're at today. So it's something to think about when you're having conversations with people. Okay. Focus on what they said they want out of life and bring the solution. And we know that Beachbody is the solution for so many different reasons. Okay. It is completely, aside from financially, it's completely life changing. All right. For myself, I know a lot can relate to this. When I started out as a coach, I thought I was doing okay as a mom and a wife, and You know, it really, the growth that I've had just through the support of the team, through the support of my challengers, and they don't even know it, the personal development, it has been completely life-changing for me as a woman. I mean, being able to battle depression and things that people don't know about for me, because it's not something that I shared on my social media every day, and it's something I'm working on sharing because I know others can relate to it. But, you know, sometimes people look and they just think, you know, you've got it all together. And it's important to share your story and talk about what Beachbody is doing for you. And there's no such thing as too big or too small. It's all important. So talk about it and share that, because you never know who might be at a place where they can relate or they really, really need that in their life. They just need somebody to come in and tell them that they can make a change, that they can help other people, that they can better their lives. Okay. I know for myself, my spiritual walk has become so much more intimate since being a coach. My relationship with my husband has been so much better since being a coach, and my relationship with my children and my friends. And the negativity that was eating me up as a person before this, that I used to stuff into a box that would like come spewing out every time there was a confrontation or something I didn't like, it just kind of poured out of me. All those things were able to be washed away because I truly allowed myself to believe in me and grow. And that's what this business does for people. It helps you become a new growing, I don't know, like just someone who believes in themselves. And we need that as people. I mean, the world can be so busy, and it can be cruel, and it can be, you know, just so critical. And at the end of the day, you have to be nice to yourself, and you have to believe in yourself and let the rest of the world follow. And I can't say enough how thankful I am for this opportunity and the team for what it's done in my life. So if any of you can relate to that, who are on this call, I encourage you to write it down in a journal, share that, and be mindful of that when you're talking to people about joining you in this business, because they might be in the same place too. There's some awesome scripts that you can use when you're inviting. I don't really like the word scripts, to be honest, but just maybe some samples. And when you are getting to know somebody and you're talking to them about their situation or their life or whatever they're doing, maybe they're going back to work soon or they just had a baby or whatever, a really simple line that works great for me is, have you ever considered doing what I do? So you can eventually so-and-so, and you want to fill in the blank with whatever it is that they shared they want to do. If it's travel or buy a house or, I don't know, take the family to Mexico, whatever, you know, reiterate that back to them and ask them, have you ever considered doing what I do? And they probably don't know what you do, or maybe they've watched, but they're not sure. And it really opens up the ability to talk to them about that. Okay. And last but not least, we naturally avoid what we associate to be painful. Add joy to the environment, laugh at yourself, and grow. I wanted to share this because when we are inviting, it's a scary, scary thing. So if you have somebody that you can talk to, a success partner, that you can share your experiences and what your invites are looking like and the responses and work your way through them and be able to laugh at yourself and have fun with it, it changes everything. Okay, because sometimes we internalize a lot of that and then we try to hide it, and it kind of makes us crawl back into this little shell. So you definitely want to find somebody, a success partner or your sponsoring coach, whoever, and share it with them. Have fun, laugh at yourself. When you're doing invite, set an hour aside. Turn on some music, light a candle when the kids are in bed, or, you know, I don't know, and just go to town. Send those invites. Okay, I sit there and laugh at myself, and I know people think that at some point coaches, they send out invites and everybody's flocking to them, and it's not true. Everybody still gets no's, and I know I do, but I've really learned to just kind of giggle them off and say, okay, you know, but anyway, I'll just reach back out to them later, and it really kind of takes the sting away. So set the environment, laugh at yourself, grab a success partner, share those stories, and move through them. Okay. Oh, Brigitte had shared some really awesome scripts and samples in the team page for inviting and what you can use to say, because I know that it's tough sometimes to find a way to, transition into the invites. But one thing that has really worked for me was the discount coaching option, and I haven't talked about this yet. But it's worked wonders. Now, obviously, we know as coaches, we all share the discount, okay, of 25%. I don't know, this sample here is for US coaches. In Canada, it's recently changed. It's gone up a little bit, but this is just an example so that when you guys are reaching out, it's something that you can mention. And I really never have anybody question anymore about the discount coach option when I bring it up. So what happens when I am, yes, you're right, shake out, oh, 90, nice. I don't know exactly what it is in the US, if it's changed at all. Yeah, that might be right. So this is sort of a ballpark, and I think it is, you're probably right, around the $97. When I'm talking to somebody about joining my challenge groups, I always mention the option to sign up as a coach. I don't use the term discount coach anymore. I let them know that there's an option for free for them to sign up as a coach so they can take advantage of the savings. And the very next question that I get is, well, okay, that sounds great. So what do I have to do? And a tip that I do is I send them an email with a video that I created that just talks about the different types of coaching, and that there's zero obligation for them to run challenge groups or help anybody or do any of that. If they don't want to, they can simply take advantage of the discount for now. And 99% of the time, people are all over it and they're super happy because some savings are better than none. And so if you're not mentioning the discount coach option, or if you're not mentioning the discount to anybody, I highly recommend you start, because especially on your road to diamond, they will help you. They will help you get there. And I've got plenty of coaches who started as discount coaches, and plenty of my diamonds who started as discount coaches have amazing businesses now, because all they needed was just a little plug to see what it's about. And so I add them into my coach team page and just share the information with them. I don't treat them like business builders at all, but I just kind of let them get the updates and see what the team environment is all about. And you'd be surprised who's going to write you and ask you at what point they can also do this and do what you're doing. So I definitely recommend mentioning the discount coach option to people, because some don't really know about it, and it's free. It's free. So forgive me if these numbers are off. I actually didn't make this photo, but it's a good example just to talk to people about the savings that they can have over a 6-month period. And of course, if they're military and spouse and veterans, then they get it completely for free, which is an awesome, awesome deal. But yes, if you have anybody that is interested in joining your challenge groups, I recommend you mention this to them. It's a great way to talk to them about the coaching opportunity. Last but not least, share your story. Don't be ashamed of your story. It's going to inspire others, and people are driven more by stories than they are by facts. They can find the facts on Google. They can find the facts on YouTube, but you want them to connect with you because they're going to be a part of your team. You want them to know that this is more than just selling products. Okay, so if there's anybody here who's a little bit hesitant about sharing their story, and I say that because it took me a good year to grasp the concept of being comfortable with sharing my story. I tried to get around doing that, but at the end of the day, it's really opened up the doors to my business once I got to understand that other people out there are, you know, they all have a story too, and they want to relate to somebody who isn't perfect. Okay, so you know, you don't have to have a dramatic story, but just share where you're at and what this is doing for you. Okay. Now, oh, and your story. Yeah, no, Claudia, it doesn't have to be a weight loss story per se, because honestly, I get all the time that I was small before and my transformation wasn't that huge, but just sharing your story about what coaching is doing for you, or what your dreams are as a coach, and how, yeah, how you got started, or why you got started, or, you know, what you have done through your business. All of those things. Okay. So it could be anything. Share your story. Know that it will inspire other people and run with it. Those are some of the major keys that are going to help you inviting to your business. I mean, the scripts are awesome, but if you really don't put to play some of those other things and believing in yourself and work on your personal development and build those relationships, then they're really going to hit a wall and you're going to be further discouraged. So I highly recommend that you go and you form with people and get to know them, and don't expect them to sign up right away. That's huge. You can't just expect people to just jump on board and sign up, because it doesn't typically happen that way. But if you're patient with them and follow up and stay connected, it will begin to roll in. It's all a compound effect. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I hope that we have the recording for this. But anyway, I'm going to answer any questions in the team page or in the 60 Days to Diamond page if you guys want to ask them over there. But I'm also, yeah, so we'll post the recording, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But know that you guys are awesome. Make sure that you write down those positive affirmations and run with it, because you guys are awesome. And that's it. We'll see you guys.